But yeah, I also put, while we are talking about it, I also put Markiplier and Jacksepticeye on our list. So hey, Keyframe, you know what to do.
I actually can see that as being realistic, though.
Really? Those guys are self-employed and in front of a camera the entire day. I don't see them spend their free time in front of one. But I guess we will one day figure out. But for now, hello and welcome to the AWKWARDCast. And Keyframe wonder about random drivel. And today with us, the guy you have probably heard more from than seen so far. Because at least for the last few episodes, he is the guy who made the song that plays during our credits. UniRob!
Greetings and salutations to everybody.
Welcome to the show. How are you doing? Who are you? What can people expect from you except hearing your song during the credits?
Well, I am Bob. Just call me Rob for now. It's a lot easier. And right now I'm doing all right. I'm at college right now because, well, being 18, you have college, and luckily I'm finishing in a couple of months, which will mean that during the next course of the next 2 months, I may not be doing much stuff on Tumblr anymore, but I will hopefully be able to do a few in that time. But after that, I'll be doing a lot more music, because I noticed only a few days ago that I have written about 119 songs.
Oh boy, and all on the ukulele?
All on the ukulele, mandolin, baritone ukulele. I haven't done any on melodica yet. I need to do that at some point. Yeah. Most of them are on that sort of stuff. And all of it has been on ukulele. It's just been fun. I'm actually, surprise, surprise, hopefully I'm going to be bringing out an EP at some point. Because most of my music, I think, is album-worthy. Put a few question marks on that, but I hope that at some point I'll be able to release an EP and hopefully get some money out of it.
It's all about confidence, man. If you have the confidence and think your stuff is album-worthy, then there's sure to be people that also think it's album-worthy.
Cheers. But yeah, at the moment, there's been a bit happening in my life because, surprisingly, I actually started all of this work when I started writing music for a really nice YouTube channel called Internet Remix. They've only got about just over 5.5K subs at the moment.
Never heard about them, I will be honest.
I would really recommend them. They're a sub-channel of one called Man on the Internet, the people who made Undertale the musical and currently making Chrono Trigger the musical.
I am pretty sure you can drop me the link later, and then I put it in the description down below.
Sure, we can put them in the doobly-doo. But I started writing this. I wrote one song for them during one of their live streams, and then I decided to write each one of the people on there a battle theme. I didn't know what I was getting myself into until I realized that there were 25 people on the channel. So, luckily, even better, this was during the time of the Christmas holidays. So, in a span of 2 weeks, I wrote 28 songs.
I mean, I can attest for the fact that you can write pretty quickly, given that... What was it? It was awkward. It was one of the AWKWARDcasts, wasn't it? Where you were at the beginning like, hey guys, I need inspiration. Then we were like, Key was like, write something about Yuri playing games. And at the end of the show, we were able to present it live on the show. So, I can see you writing multiple songs within like 20 plus songs in 2 weeks, given that you don't even need more than an hour per song.
To be honest, my fastest song I ever wrote, I timed this one because a really cool YouTuber called Rob Scallon
Speed songs
did something which is the 1 hour song challenge. And he managed to do a song in 55 minutes, and people were trying to do better than him. And I thought, I can try this. And the fastest song I wrote was in 39 minutes. And that had a chorus, 2 verses, and I managed to record it and everything. It had it was like a duet, and I was very happy with it. That was the best one I've ever done.
What was the song about? Was it about something really, really stupid, like?
Oh my god! I have only
breakfast?
30. Oh my god! I have only an hour time. I need to fast sing that song about time.
I'll try and find
This is the reason why I don't make music.
Yeah, honestly, writing the instrumentals for songs is easy for me. Writing the lyrics are even harder. Yeah, here it is. The song I did was basically just about two guys, one who's like a jock and the other who was a nerd. And the two of them were trying to get the attention of this girl at the nightclub. That was it.
Tried and true story.
Tried and true story.
I have heard songs with less lyrics. And I would walk 500 miles.
I would walk.
No, I mean, I could do you one better. One of the most famous Beatles songs only has 12 lyrics.
Could be.
Is that
It's
birthday?
No. It's "I Want You, She's So Heavy." It's
Yeah.
literally, it's "I want you so bad, it's driving me mad, she's so heavy." The end. That's all the lyrics of the song.
What about Mana Mana?
Do. Oh
Mana,
no, it got
mana.
stuck in my head now.
Word. It's not even a word.
So it's just sound effects?
I mean, what do you call mananana? Is that a word or is it a sound?
Is it a noun? Is it an onomatopoeia?
Is it a way of being?
It is a metaphor for life.
It could mean something in a language we just all don't know.
Yeah, Muppet.
Nevertheless,
I guess-
Rob, anything else recently going on in your life besides college?
Actually, yeah, surprisingly. I'm actually starting on a kind of sort of YouTube channel with a bunch of other people, which we are calling the Organization of Wayward Anonymous YouTubers, or OWA for short. We've been working on it for quite a few months now, and it started off with me writing an original pirate song, or like a sea shanty. And then I showed it on a Discord server, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, I like this. Mind if I do a few extra things with it?" I said, "Sure." Another person said, "Hey, mind if I do some art?" And I was like, "Yeah, right." And after the evening, we had about 20 people who wanted to do something with this song. So we thought, you know what? Let's just make a server for it. Right now, we have about 28 people working on this. We've worked on a script for it. We're working on a storyboard. We've got animators. We've got drawers. We've got people doing the song, like the lyrics for it, the sheet music, and we've got so many people working on it. And it's amazing how many people are working on it. And we're hoping to get the final thing done by the end of the year, because we all have lives. But it's really amazing. And yeah, on the chat now, Star Princess is one of the people who's doing it with us. But it's this piratey themed thing, and it's fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes around.
Sounds actually like the right approach to this kind of fan project, because often enough it is like, I have a great idea, now I need people helping me. No, it's like you guys started out first. You first had a team, and the idea grew out of the team, because if everybody is doing it out of passion, that's the right approach, instead of just a multitude of people trying to fulfill one person's passion for exposure.
Also, yeah, another thing I forgot to say, in the chat, Not Your Red Shirt is actually my boyfriend, so that's the other thing that's going on in my life.
Yeah. Gross.
Where is he? Which one is he?
Not Your Red Shirt.
Oh, okay. So he's
But
hiding
he's
somewhere.
he's not read in the chat.
Oh yeah, he's green. Oh well.
No. Oh, red shirt. There he is. Yeah, now I see him. Hello. So is this channel already set up? Is there somewhere where we can send people, or?
Well, I mean, we haven't uploaded any videos yet, but as soon as we do have the YouTube channel, I guess.
We can link the channel so people can just have a reminder on them. So when you guys do upload it.
Good idea. We can do that.
So if there is a chat, a link will be in the channel. A link will be in the description. If
there's
not,
a chat, if there's a chat panel.
yes, if there's a chat. Where chat is, there is a way.
Oh my god. But was that all going on in your life, Rob?
Can't really think of anything else that's going on in my life. No.
Well, okay. I guess we'll move on to the more interesting person in this call, me. Anyway.
No, nobody's debating that. So
No, not debating it.
I work 9 to 5. So my life is lame.
I work from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. But yeah, my life. Well, you could see that this isn't the normal room. Yeah, so Katie and DeWilstater moved out, and now me and Golden Fox have the master bedroom, which is great. Now I don't have that window hitting me in the face, you know, making me look paler than I already am. And then, you know, I spent the beginning of the week just getting this place to not look like shambles, hanging up posters and stuff. Like, now I actually have something that's kind of similar to A&Y's backdrop with all the posters in the background.
While I still have mine.
What?
I just had that one.
No, while I still have mine.
What are you taking him down?
I still haven't figured out what to do when I move.
Do you not have... Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you still have yours, then I will take over as poster master.
No.
But yeah, so that was the beginning of my week, and then the rest of my week was working on stuff for DA Games, which, I'm so happy. My first shirt design for DA Games that is on Fanfiber officially got released. Ooh. And it's based off the Brothers in Arms Cuphead stuff, so it's like a Cuphead-ized Will, and so happy with how the design came out. What I didn't know is that Fanfiber's official Twitter would advertise the design on their Twitter.
Ooh.
So I was looking through Twitter and I saw Will retweeted something from Fanfiber and I saw it was my design. I was like, like, oh my god, because for people who don't know, Fanfiber is the site that houses. Yeah, that's the design. Oh, and it looks so good on a black shirt. I love how it turned out. Fanfiber is the website that has Dan Bull, Jacksepticeye, Game Grumps, PewDiePie. Like all these big people, they get their stuff that they are hosted on Fanfiber. And according to Will, the Fanfiber team, because Fanfiber already has a team of in-house artists, but obviously if you have artists that work for you, like Will does, you don't use them. But the Fanfiber team saw my design. They're like, she's really good. And I'm like, like, it was just a day where I was fine. Because, you know, as an artist, you have those times where you're not very confident in your artwork. And that definitely was an ego boost. That was much welcomed.
I am disgusted.
Why are you disgusted?
Just in general.
Why?
But please continue.
I don't. Okay, but like,
okay.
I'm just accepting he's disgusted in me. You know, I'm a happy, jovial person with some form of optimism. No wonder he's disgusted.
Yes, you artists with your moments of joy and positive feedback.
It's positive.
Yeah, whenever I make you art, you're like, good, about time.
Yeah,
go
you
away.
see, this is the right approach.
And then along with that, I finished all the album artwork because DA Games is releasing a best of album, and I did the front artwork and the back artwork. I can't show that because that's NDA, but I like how they all turned out. I was up till 4 a.m. finishing the back cover, which, hooray. But it's that, you know, I've been live streaming more. But what?
You're going bugging a little bit out there.
Oh.
But it got better. So you're live streaming a lot more.
Yeah, I'm live streaming more. I'm loving streaming on YouTube. I played Mark of the Ninja and annoyed A&Y multiple times. Because look, guys, I am the best. Bad. I am the best Mark of the Ninja player that you've ever seen. In that I somehow have survived thus far.
She should not have survived this. Like in general, like everything she does in this game, she should not have survived this. Period.
Oh, do you want to analyze my Mark of the Ninja playing?
I don't know. I mean, if there would be an achievement for make every single guard in the entire game see you, like ninjas always do, right? Being
It's called
seen.
Senpai Noticed Me.
Yeah, pretty much, and every enemy is a senpai because ninjas are very much known for always dancing in front of the enemy, like look at me, and then running away.
Okay, I don't dance. I just hop away like a rabbit.
I have the feeling you are playing too much Heroes of the Storm and adapted the Genji way of the ninja, like being very frontal and then running, swooshing away after you have been confronted with resistance.
Look, man.
Oh, don't forget the taunt kills. You need taunt kills.
There's nothing that feels better than seeing that they have seen you and then somehow hopping out of danger and getting to the end of the level from hopping away.
I don't know.
As a Warframe gamer, I can say that is very, very true.
I mean, it's also kind of satisfying to make it through an entire level without being spotted a single time and even getting the recognition by the game with a big bonus on your score. But yeah, sure, I guess your experience is nice as well.
Some of us get satisfaction from different things. Some get satisfaction from playing games correctly and getting the achievements and what developers wanted you to do.
I can stop any time. I don't need more achievements. I can stop.
Or you get satisfaction from having the knowledge that the person who recommended you the game, that has such an intense love for the game, sees the way you're playing and gets viscerally annoyed. That's the satisfaction I get because it's one of the few small moments in my life that I actually annoy and it makes me feel good. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's been my week. How about you, Maxie?
Oh, my week. Sadly, no big events. It's a bit of the usual stuff. It took me surprisingly long to adapt to European time. Did I tell last week how I screwed it up?
Hmm?
So
I don't think so.
Yeah, usually when I come back from the US, I have this amazing trick of maybe dozing off for an hour or two on my flight back, but usually being incapable of sleeping properly. So then I arrive and basically force myself to stay awake until 10 p.m. here time. Then I drop dead and wake up at a usual time the next day. And from there on out, it's easy going.
That didn't happen?
No, this time around, first of all, the flight was later than all the other flights back I usually had. I got plenty of sleep. And I arrived back here, and at 4 a.m. in the morning, I was like, shit, I really need to go to bed now.
I've had that problem every time that I come to Berlin. I just, I sleep so well on the flight there. And then when I get to you've seen it because you're like, don't you get jet lag? And I'm like, no, I'm wide awake. And then the next day, everything is crashed. I'm like, yeah.
This could actually be really good help for me because I'm actually coming to America in a couple of months' time.
Nice. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. But anyway, so you adjusted to your sleep schedule.
I finally adjusted. I got back into the swing at work, and toward the end, the week actually turned out rather productive. So I'm happy with that.
You tried Monster Prom and was highly disappointed.
Oh yeah, this was the thing on Tuesday. So in Gaming and Tides, because here's the thing, Jesse Cox, I love Jesse. It's no news, and it's no news. I love my big brother, who doesn't acknowledge my relationship to him, but I have pictures proving it. Nevertheless.
He acknowledged it during our podcast.
Yes, he acknowledged that we actually look pretty similar. No, but I cannot really follow through with his obsession with this game. I mean, by now I understand why, because once we finished the game, I saw that in the credits it says producer Jesse Cox. So
that makes it more disappointing.
I have seen him play the demo, and I watched his let's play of the first demo, and he was pretty amazed by it, and was like, "What? This is so amazing!" And I assume that from there on out, he got into contact with developers, and was like, "Guys, I love it, I love it, I love it." And then they probably connected, and they realized, "Hey, we all have the same weird humor. Let's do this." And I have to say, the game seems to be pretty big content-wise, actually. I mean, there's a lot of unique dialogues of unique constellations and combinations, but I don't know. I have the feeling the game is too much running or relying on its cute characters first of all, and its dorky awkwardness and its weird humor. Because the gameplay itself, I don't know. I haven't come around to actually watch Jesse's Let's Play, because Jesse is actually playing it as a Let's Play on his channel with 3 other friends, and maybe playing it with the producer and having 3 instead of 1 additional player gets the extra kick out of it. But Yuri and I were a little bit like, we could not really... The game was not good at telegraphing. Some stuff were super obvious, some stuff were moon logic, and you were like, okay, I click this. Oh, I now lost some of my skill points. It never communicated why skill points are, what all those stats actually do for you. I don't know. Still, the aesthetics of the game are beautiful. I tried it again, but I screwed it up, so I stopped it. So I still was not able to finish it once more.
All I know is that I want to make a cosplay of the alcoholic ghost girl for CoxCon.
Yeah, I mean, the art and the characters are pretty amazing and beautiful and whatnot. It's really mostly the game mechanics, and if you do not understand the game, it's a little bit I don't know. Then, of course, on Thursday, I nuked my channel by releasing That Stupid, the gun situation in America.
Really? Because most of the comments I saw was actually rational discussion.
Oh no, I know.
It's actually pretty good.
Yes. In that regard, I actually have the ability to draw a pretty reasonable crowd. No! God damn it, I just seen the statistics. For the longest time, this was pretty amazing and I loved it. For the longest time, I had like 10 times as many thumbs up as I had thumbs down. Now I have 11 thumbs down on 95 thumbs up. So,
darn it.
Damn it.
We need to, people, go to the
No,
and thumbs it up.
They will thumb it down. They will thumb it down. No, they will thumb it down now.
No,
don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
You don't even have to watch the video. Just thumb it up. Do it for me. Don't do it for him, because if you do it for him, then you're gonna thumb it down. Do it for Chris. Do it for me.
Do it for her. That is to say, you do it
You'll
for him.
You'll do it for him. Exactly. That's what the song's actually about.
Yeah,
but
it's about thumbs up and down on YouTube. But actually, I actually am pretty happy how it naturally devolved this way. That I can make a video about gun debate and find a middle ground where I only get like 10% thumbs down. So I'm actually pretty happy with this development without artificially pushing it. Also a lot of comments, like a fuckload. But now for the fun part. Let's see how many subscribers I lost over this video.
Oh, to social blade. While you do that, I'll be right back. I just have to step out for 1 second.
Because this is the fun part.
Ooh, I'm gonna scoot up a bit. This sounds good.
Oh no, actually no. I lost, according to the statistics, I lost 9 on the video and gained 2. However, I do know that I have lost like 30 subscribers in the last few days since I released the video. So I lost like 30 subscribers over this video. So let's not kid ourselves. But yeah, overall, this was a blast. The problem is, as Keyframe pointed out, there's a lot of actual serious discussion going on, and this has one downside. The people who take it serious, they answer with walls of text, and I'm literally not able to get through all of them.
TLDR.
Yeah, it's a lot of TLDR, and the problem is also that I cannot reply to everybody because they are they repeat the arguments. It's like I scan over them. I like, yeah, I already answered this 5 times. I'm not going to do it a 6th time. So basically,
but the most important question: has the lolly Indiana guy commented on the video?
No, he hasn't.
Wait, what?
He hasn't commented on any of my videos for quite a while. On the first few, that's stupid. I had a guy who came in and he was very antagonizing towards me. And then I clicked on his profile, and basically he had as his channel banner, he had a lolly anime girl, and I was like, dude, are you sure you can criticize me about moral stuff?
You have the right.
Then.
I mean, he was essentially the person that was calling ANY a communist that caused it into the communist Russian ending.
His first outrage was on my very first video where he was like, "Oh, when I
you can't be objective in art, everything."
Yeah, when I was making a case for objective quality in art, and he was like, "People like you and young impressionable people watch your stuff and they start believing the bullshit you tell them." I go on his channel, dude. You have lolly anime art on your channel. How can you judge me for the bad impression I give to other people? What?
At first, when you were talking about this guy, he sounded like he was from his late 40s. But now I'm still seeing more of a late 20s sort of guy just typing on his keyboard, going, "I can't believe it."
What's sadder, though? What is the sadder image to make in your head? Someone who's wasting the prime of their life, or someone who already wasted the prime of their life?
But yeah, I don't. Besides that, did I do anything fun this week? I missed out on going to the cinema this weekend because, boy, I was so fucking lazy. It's not even funny. I did nothing. I mean, I actually have to finish that stupid script so that my editors can actually start working on the next video.
Editor.
And it's 80% done, if not even 90% done. But I wasn't able to do anything on it this entire weekend. It's just like,
well, people, what you have to do. You have to follow ANY on his social medias and tweet him positive things. Maybe that will get him off his ass. Or subversely, tweet him, "Get off your lazy ass, you downer turnip German ferret." Like, and maybe he'll be like, "Well, now I'm just gonna do it out of spite."
I know what to do now.
You said you have something sequential for your media today.
I have something sequential for my media. Oh wait, no.
Only you can make sequential. Only you can make sequential sound like a dirty thing.
Oh yeah, I do. So my media today, goodbye Keyframe.
No, wait.
Is sequential art, which is the first one of a series of webcomics that Jolly Jax is making. Sadly, he doesn't provide a nice archive or overview or something, so it's harder to find him. But hey, he is pretty active. Like last comic update was just 3 days ago, and. Nice. Yeah, to give you a little bit of an impression what it is style-wise as well as the characters, at least to this point. I mean, first of all, sequential art is now at... What? No, don't go there. I want to go there later. So the newest one is like, he's in the thousands by now. I believe I am somewhere between 200 and 300. I started reading him this week and now I'm trying to catch up. I mean, it's literally single strips, so that's the thing. But yeah, to give you a little bit of an idea if this might be down your lane, I have here basically 4 nice comics which display the main characters, which is art, which I thought for the longest time and I still think is a stand-in for the author. But then again, the author has an actual stand-in in the comic, which is a small hamster.
Huh.
I mean, you can argue that most creatives, when they make characters, they're all based off different facets of their personality.
It's true. I mean, yeah. So think back to ANY Corp. All of the characters represented a part of me. So But yeah, because a lot of those strips, some are just fun ideas, and you can tell they are fun ideas, but some of them feel far too autobiographic to be like, no. He is referring to either his own life or stories of a small friend. They ooze anecdotal. They ooze it. So
the style is very early 2000s webcomic.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy that style.
Me too.
Is like,
no, I like it. I like it too. It's very Newgroundsy. Like Egoraptor during the Awesome series, kind of very graphic, angular style.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually one of those styles that if I ever talking about getting off my butt, if I ever would get off my butt and get into drawing. The dust layer on my tablet is already this thick again.
Hex.
I know. But I a grinding game I actually owned for a while, and therefore I can just grind it, and I grinded away 1.5 seasons of Avatar: The Last Airbender already.
To be fair, Avatar: The Last Airbender is really good to grind. Not in that case. Oh god, no.
He is 12 years old.
Oh boy.
Like that.
But this is one of the strips.
This is Art, who is an artist who draws stuff, and I mean, here's the sentiment where I for the longest time thought he is a author stand-in. It's like he's an artist. He draws for work. He has to deal with the mixed. Like hey, one guy is make it more sexy so it sells better, then HR comes in and make it less sexy because the PR is bad, and you see he's happy, and then he is just in the evening going home, what you drawing? Anything I damn well please. So you know why he does. This must be the author speaking to us, and you know why he does those webcomics, because he has fucking fun with it. He loves doing those webcomics, and you feel it, because he's also not restraining himself. Some of those strips are like, holy shit, this was very un-PC right now, and he just goes with it. At some point, they have this character who is mentally challenged, I guess. I mean, we get to her in a moment, because this is basically all the main characters, like a day in the life of after each other. So this is his flatmate. I'm not sure if they are supposed to be dating or maybe start later dating, but she's a cat girl who happens to be his flatmate. It's just casual furryism. So this is something to keep in mind. Just a furry girl and a gamer girl, and she alone was reason enough for me to start reading this until I came to another character in this comic.
Is this the comic that you reblogged on Tumblr where the naked squirrel girl is running from the ceiling?
It is.
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
Indeed. But you don't see anything.
Let's just say this comic has the assets that can grab A&Y's attention.
True.
You
don't see anything.
Intrigued, confused, mortified. Interested. I don't know what I'm feeling.
You feel all those emotions at once. But this is the
cat girl, but with a K because it's a short form of Catherine or Katrina or whatever. Yeah, she's usually the straight guy being a girl. Art is a very low key, a very unextreme character. But he's a normal guy, the normal dude. What's it called? There's a name for it. She has actually a bit more.
The everyman.
Yeah. Art is a total everyman when it's not about his being anecdotes about him being an artist. Cat has actually a lot more personality, but then again, she also fills the role of the girl. Oh, and then we have Pitt. Come on, loaded. Pitt. I believe his name was Pitt. Come on,
Is Pitt the squirrel?
No, Pitt is his other roommate. Who is a nerdy, evil penguin? For fuck's sake, load the next page. Come on.
You've just intrigued me even more now.
Pip. Pip. So first of all, a day in the life of Pip, he wakes up at 11:45, like hours after his roommates went to her actual day jobs. Then he's watching cartoons in his PJs at noon. At 3 p.m., he is just on eBay doing stuff, so basically interneting. And 10 minutes later, he is like already exhausted and tired. He is a complete creepy perv. Like really, I mean...
like the old man from Dragon Ball kind of perv?
Worse, because
Oh.
Mutant Roshi is still lovable. Pip is not lovable. He is just creepy as fuck.
So like Quagmire from Family Guy.
More like Quagmire, but being a complete nerd, while Quagmire is kind of a full dedicated pickup artist, this guy is just a creepy, nerdy internet blah.
Penguin.
So we've got a nerdy evil penguin who is a creep and watches cartoons in his pajamas.
Yes.
Fucking sold. Sorry, my headphones went off my head.
Rob likes penguins, guys. Make a penguin his persona now.
Absolutely. And here's the last one, Scarlet.
Is this the squirrel?
Yes, the mentally challenged squirrel girl who still seems to be kind of ingenious because she was able to turn a replica laser into an actual functioning laser. So she is a genius. But
what it probably is that she's probably just autistic.
But she can't talk properly. They explain it with her having ADHD. I mean, she's a squirrel, so... But I like the cookie. But she can't even talk properly. She has complete control issues. I mean, this strip is about her basically raiding the fridge, and this is her entire thing she does during the day. No, and here's this part where this story turned really raised my eyebrow. Like, wow, yeah, you can tell that this author has nobody standing on top of him. So this one, when they had the Squirrel Girl, when she was very new to the crew, the penguin basically accidentally got carried away on Eboi. They changed all the names to funny, weird-sounding names. And he did a purchase that was on over the top, and so he then got the idea to get money to sell the Squirrel Girl to some other creep on the internet, like selling her, like outright
human trafficking.
No,
okay.
she's a squirrel, so it's not really human trafficking. No, and it got played for laughs the entire time, like you see it in a 90s sitcom where they have just. Because the context allows it to be not serious, you don't see, but yeah, the fuck, I know, right? And I was sitting there like, okay, because you know that Pip is a creep and Pip will not get away with it, and basically everybody is like, no, Pip, we are not going to let this happen, and they basically fuck with his plans, but nobody is like, dude, you're just selling somebody into slavery. Are you fucking insane? No, it's just like, yeah, I'm selling a squirrel girl on the internet. Like, what? So, just this either as something refreshing that this comic doesn't give a fuck about being PC all the time, or as a red flag for people who get easily triggered. I don't know. So this comic, but on the other hand, it made me laugh out multiple times. Not.
I love the chat's reaction right now. Just a bunch of question marks.
Yeah, just like.
Within the confines of this comic, it works without coming across as too cruel and too creepy. Because Pip is a scumbag, but he will not get away with it, and you know it from the beginning because everybody is like, this is not going to happen. But it
really does remind me of Quagmire from Family Guy, actually. It's like Quagmire does so much stuff, but it's like, that. Who else but Quagmire?
Yep. So, would you recommend people start this comic from the beginning?
Yeah,
or?
Absolutely. I mean, it has a lot of one-shots, but it's also building the Squirrel Girl comes in at about 50 or something. They build up, they introduce new side characters that are reoccurring. You have to definitively read it from the beginning. And if you compare, if you go to the last one, so this is the quality of the last one, versus the first one. Okay, the first one is really a little bit more
First one is very anime.
Yeah, but you see, and here we have Pit and Art next to each other. It hasn't changed too much. He pretty much found his style, and he just refined it, stretched it, made it a little bit cleaner. But it has not been one of those comics that was barely readable in the beginning and turned really, really good at the end. No, he stayed pretty consistent. So
he just took his chin and made it longer.
And his hair made it pointier.
Yeah, that's true. So definitively start in the beginning, and check it out. And as I said, this lightheartedness in the face of something that's actually like, what the fuck? It reminds me of the good old days in the 90s when you could tell such a story without Tumblr exploding, because there was no Tumblr. Good old times.
Maybe that's why he doesn't put it on Tumblr.
Oh, probably.
The times when there weren't any Tumblr, those were the dark eras. The dark ages of... Sorry.
No problem. But yeah, sequential art. I will put the hub site in so that you can also check out his other webcomics. I haven't come around to do this, so I literally don't know if they're any good. Probably are, if they are also passion projects by him done after work. So, yeah. What about you, Rob? What's your media? Wait, I know this because you told me before.
Well, today I'm actually I'm talking about one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh boy.
It is a very indie game that probably no one's ever heard of, Banished.
I hope I found the right one.
Yes, you have. Now, I am a huge nerd when it comes to strategic town-building games. I absolutely love them. And
Nerd.
Shush. But
Yes.
I love these sort of games with a burning passion. And the one thing I've usually hated when I was like playing these big building city games is that it never focuses on the small little details. Like you can't go down and edit each person's name, but it doesn't really make much difference. That's why I like City Skylines a lot, because you just sort of you got to rechange people's names in all the individual buildings, and here in Banished you can do that as well. And it's set in like a medieval setting, which I also really love, because you start off as just this small town of ranges from 6 to 4 families of people who have been banished from their hometown, and you start off in this random settlement. And so many things can happen. It can either go really well and have like a city of 500 like that, or it could end up that you get the plague and you don't have any doctors and everything goes to crap. But it all depends on how you play it, because at first you're just wanting to skip through everything, like, oh yeah, I've got like only 6 families, I have like enough crops, it's fine, I can just keep going. But if you don't look at it for too long, then everything could go to hell really, really quickly. And I love that. I really love these sort of, it's almost like a strategic roguelite, like this game where everything could go wrong if you're not careful, but it's just, I'm trying to think, it's like a hardcore version of these regular games where you would build up a city or something. For me, it's the perfect strategy game. And I don't really know how to describe it. There are a lot of modders for this, and you can go down like different paths. You can sort of go down more of a market type path where you sort of trade more with people, or you could go down more of a path of wanting to refine your resources that you have on you, or you can try and expand a lot more. But if you play it with mods, it's a lot easier. But if you play the vanilla game, it is I would say the hardest game I've ever played as well.
I wanted to say, because I recall that I believe Total Biscuit talked about it in maybe of some of his Steam sale reviews or something, and he mentioned that it is extremely hard, and I recall him describing it basically like a roguelike, that actually you sooner or later die, that it's more like staying alive as long as possible, Tetris style. I mean, if you actually build up to a functioning 500 people settlement, it sounds like you should be able to sustain yourself. But
Yeah.
I guess the point of getting there is, like you said, super, super hard.
Yeah. I think the furthest I ever got was about 200 settlers, and that was with mods to like make sure I had I got more stuff from fishing and more stuff from crops, and at that point, what had happened was I had brought in some nomads into the settlement because that's something you can do when you get a town hall. You can bring in nomads, and I was like, yeah, right, I'll bring them in. They had brought in a plague with them.
Ooh.
And I had 2 hospitals. Like, with a settlement of 200, you should have more than just 2 hospitals. And I ended up going from 200 settlers to 20.
Well, at least it was not difficult. The house market was not overrun, and you could easily find a nice place to live.
Yep, indeed. It's one of those games which everything can go right or everything can go wrong, and that is something I just love about these kind of like Rolling said in a chat, it's very much a role playing game. Well, they like role playing game stuff. You can role play a lot in this sort of game because as much as you are the manager of this settlement, you can just role play as each individual family, and it's a game that I play a lot when I want to relax, which is funny because it's a very hard game. But it's just, the music is really calming. I love the sort of the style of it. It's my favorite game.
Nice. Yeah, and apparently for people interested to check it out maybe before playing it or buying it themselves, according to Waterhead, Jacksepticeye has played it as well. And
also, Nerdcubed has also done a Let's Play of it. So if you guys like Nerdcubed, go see his stuff.
You know, you can play this game that apparently has really relaxing music and is
punishingly hard.
And punishingly hard, being played by a loud Irish person.
Sounds like a fantastic plan, I guess. So yeah, Banished, everybody. Which only leaves one person. I have been told, Keyframe, that you picked a very, very mediocre, hardly watchable medium this week that is very inferior. It must be, because I watched 4 minutes of the first episode, and I came to the conclusion that it's not good, so it has to be. But please, tell us otherwise. But I give it anyway, that much. So the intro is pretty amazing.
Anyway, so I've Kichi, our good friend Kichi,
and now roommate,
made me binge watch a show called Aggketsuko. And backstory: this was originally a bunch of not the show that's on Netflix, but what it's based off of. A bunch of it was 100 1-minute shorts that used to air. And it is about this little red panda named Resco, who's in the middle of the picture, who works at this office job in accounting, and she just has this, her life. God, why is it so? She has to deal with, a sexist boss, conniving coworkers, all this stuff, and. She doesn't like where her life is and all this stuff, but her way of venting out her frustration is singing death metal.
Yeah, I guess that gets. Wait, where's the intro?
That is really cool, actually. I like that.
Yeah,
concept.
she goes to a karaoke place, like the Japanese karaoke places where you get your own individual room, and she just belts out death metal.
Yeah,
and. Throughout the series, it's her learning to be less ideal, not like losing hope or anything, but having more realistic goals in life, having optimism, basically reviving the spark in her life that has been gone.
I mean, yeah, you see her completely naive, but within the first 30 seconds, or where are we, a minute or something, she loses her idealism. So.
But But yeah,
I mean, I see why this is. I mean, I can see the intro alone basically sold me, but then when the episode itself played, I was.
You should watch more than 4 minutes. You're missing out on like some of the best characters in the show.
Maybe.
Yeah, but so besides Retsuko, there is I can't talk about the show while it's playing. It's so distracting.
Okay, I assume. Wait, where are the running characters? So I assume those. Come on. Those are important characters.
Come on, Max, you can do it.
No, I can't, obviously. So that's Retsuko or whatever.
That's Retsuko.
Still her.
Who's actually voiced by the English voice of Akko in Little Witch Academy.
Huh. What do you know? I assume those are other important characters?
Those are other important characters, but the characters that you see in the preview screen are actually, at least to me, more important. One is Feniko, who's this little white fennec fox, who's she is totally deadpan. She's like Maud Pie. She just does not talk. She just talks in the same one-note voice, and she can analyze social media so well she could figure out people's movements and what they ate. All that, like, there's a scene in the pilot that shows it, and it's creepy. And then you have Hadia, the husbando of this anime.
The hyena?
Yeah, the hyena, who's voiced by Ben Didskin, which people would know for stuff like Kill la Kill and Kingdom Hearts and Codename Kids Next Door and a bunch of stuff. And he's this hyena who's known Retsuko for like 5 years and has a crush on her, and he's so sweet and nerdy, and I love him. And yeah, the show's only 10 episodes. Each episode is 15 minutes. Other characters are like, there's a hippo who's the office gossip. There's Gori and Washimbi, who were the girls Retsuko was running with in the intro, who are like the high on the food chain people who become friends with Retsuko during yoga class and try to teach her to have more confidence. Because the thing is about Retsuko is that she's a doormat. She's a doormat and everyone takes advantage of her. And the whole thing of the series is her trying to gain more confidence, which I really like. And yeah, the first 4 minutes before it gets to the final buildup of her being a heavy metal singer can be a little bit grating, but once it gets past that, you really actually start to see the tone of the show. And I do recommend at least watching the first full episode.
Fine. I will do this, and next week on the AWKWARDCast, I will probably...
There's indeed a charm to this show. I have to say, like, it has a very simple style. Like, it's simple flash puppets, essentially. And a lot of the visual gags are very Japanese. Like, this is a show that is straight out of Japan. So some visual stuff that we may find weird is not weird to them. Like characters' eyes suddenly glowing and all that stuff.
I have watched enough anime. I should be fine.
Yeah, but I really like it. It's very cute, and I didn't think I would like it because the concept was kind of like, but I grew to like it. But the most hilarious thing that this show has ever wrought was Ben Didskin's Twitter, the guy who plays Hadia, finding out what furries are.
Wait, what?
You didn't know.
I'm just going to for you people read out his tweet thread about finding out about stuff. Where are we? Okay. Let's see. He was asking what the UWU emoticon meant.
Always with oral.
And he's like,
that's what my furry friend told me what it's meant.
Yeah, here we go. It says, okay, I'll bite. What is the subtext for ooh? Because I just assumed it's a face with closed eyes. I'm missing something, aren't I?
Yes.
Is this a furry thing or an anime thing?
It's a furry thing, and it means always with oral.
But oral doesn't even start with an O.
What?
Like,
oral?
Oral?
Oral sex?
Yeah, ORAL. Oral.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh wait,
but
always with.
WU.
Oh yeah, that doesn't. The always doesn't start with O. That's true.
Yeah, but anyway, and then it goes to, well, I just learned what bore is. Good night, internet. Next tweet, we've got a hyena down, guys. Save yourself. Then, I feel like I've already fallen down the rabbit hole halfway to Wonderland. I feel I should just look up all kinds of stuff tonight and educate myself so I complete the journey into madness.
Oh, dear God, he didn't.
And then, alrighty, scratch inflation and Bara off the list. It's cool. I'm cool. Nothing's phasing me anymore. All right, what's next?
Wait, what was that last one again?
Bara, B-A-R-A. I don't know what that means.
Neither do I know.
Oh, I don't know either.
To Urban Dictionary. Welcome to the awkward.
Let's have a little look, everybody.
Oh yeah,
Bara is short for Bara. Gay Japanese magazine.
I do a picture search. What? Let's see what. Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's like big muscly dudes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what? So how do you spell it again?
B-A-R-A.
R-A. And
then
continuing on Ben's journey into madness. Okay, just discovered E621 and Search Hadia. Meh, okay, fully desensitized. Actually, there's a couple cute pics, so okay. Yeah.
Discovered what?
E621. I think it's a porn site.
621. E621.
Okay, picture search does give a lot of different stuff.
No,
so it might be a page.
It's a website. It's a website.
Oh, okay.
I know what E621 is. It's basically the place that you can look up any porn.
Oh, okay.
And then he's like, sigh. I mean, Zootopia is already my favorite movie of all time, and now this. Does this mean I'm a hook now? Is that how this works? Do I only get to use cat face emojis from now on?
Why do I have a feeling that?
Then he goes on a tweet thread talking about his position on the furry fandom. And he's like, "Oh, furry stuff is cool. Don't tag me in NSFW stuff. I'm not going to autograph porn." And then he's like, "I'm furry adjacent. I'm not full on furry, but you are all right in my book."
I have a feeling that Max, when he hears this, he's just going, "One of us, one of us, one of us."
He really is embracing the Hadia character because his profile picture is the height.
How about you drop me the link to his Twitter, and then I will just link his Twitter, since I cannot link the show, down in the description below.
If you guys want to watch it, follow him on Twitter. He's a cool dude, and also if you want to just look at the tweet threads of finding out just the discovery of furdom. There you go.
Perfect.
I was surprised that he was so not knowing about furry stuff, given that he's voiced in anime for so long and that has such a big overlap. But yeah, I would recommend Aggketsuko. Definitely, there is a little bit of a niche to it. But if you want to watch the first episode just so you could understand the hype behind it, go right ahead. It's on Netflix. It's only 10 episodes. It's easy to watch.
Yes, and I mean, you guys probably have seen as much of it creeping up on Twitter, on Tumblr, on DeviantArt, everywhere. It pops up. It's the next craze, so jump on the train while it's still fresh, I guess. Yes. Also, perfect segue to the Q&A session. Because Enigma asked, in Aggketsuko, who is your favorite character, best episode, and what would you like to see for season 2?
Favorite character is Hadia. Best episode is anything with Hadia in it. What would I like to see in season 2? More Hadia. There's my answer.
And I guess Rob and I are out because we haven't watched it.
It's the best character in the show.
Fair enough.
I mean, I've been wondering why there have been so many red pandas on Tumblr lately, but I guess this is why.
Now you know. But yeah, Enigma also has a question for UniRob.
Ooh, okay.
What is your favorite musical instrument, genre of music, and lyrical composition?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, first, favorite musical instrument, I mean, what else was I going to say? Yeah. So yeah, ukulele. What was the other two questions? Sorry.
Favorite musical instrument, genre of music, and lyric composition. I'm not entirely sure what lyric composition is.
I think just best music I've heard. So I'd say favorite
Genre?
I'd say my favorite. I guess this would be sort of favorite musician. I think I would. Oof. The thing is, I just love lots of different music. I've grown up in a very Beatles-centered family. Like since I can remember, my dad has been playing me Beatles, Beach Boys, so very much.
Raised well.
Mm-hmm. But as time went on, I got into folk music a lot more, and I've started to like that. So I would say, depending on how I'm feeling, it changes. But I'd say my favorite musician would be a band called the Unthanks, which are these three women who do folk music, and it's very sort of eerie, mysterious folk music, and it's just something I really enjoy. It's one of those things that no one really knows about, but that's just me. I like things that no one really knows about.
You like
it's
indie
weird.
stuff. You like indie stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Like I could never get into like big hip hop things aside from Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran's like my one thing I can say. Yeah.
What's with the face?
Red Shirt just shared with us in all caps that he spilled Coke over his laptop.
Oh no.
I mean, sorry, dude, but I'm also like,
Well, okay,
that's funny.
Shouldn't your priority be cleaning it up and not telling us about it?
I need to tweet that my house is on fire. What do I do?
Also, Wishkit, yes, this is the size of a ukulele. It's like, compared to my face, this is a tenor ukulele. So this is like a fairly...
What you don't know is that Rob is actually an 8-foot giant, so this ukulele is just a normal guitar.
Hang on, give me a second. I have my smallest ukulele here. It's a travel ukulele.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the smallest one in the world that you can buy is a portable ukulele compared to my face.
How do you play it?
Like
you
this.
Have fingers bigger than a baby. You can't
it's
hit
out of
the
tune.
frets.
Basically, yeah, it's the tuning board is here, so you have to like tune it from the bottom. This is the hole where the music comes out of. But yeah.
What a weird abomination child. It should be named Quasi.
It's when a real ukulele and the world's smallest violin had a baby.
Let me play you a song. No, is that what Hawaiians do when it's like, oh, instead of saying I'll play you a song in the world's smallest violin, I'll play you a song in the world's smallest ukulele.
Actually, the world's smallest ukulele, I think, is about the size of this. Like, about that size. Like, you literally play it like that.
Okay, let me tell you about a pet peeve I have.
There we go.
Here we go.
Things that are needlessly tiny.
That's stupid.
No, and like, for fuck's sake, like, especially okay, there's some things that it's like, okay, that's impressive if it can perform a purpose, but then you have stuff like those fucking tiny food Twitter videos that are like, we're gonna make fried chicken that are like the size of a tip of a pin, and I'm like, why?
I don't get that.
You're wasting material. You could do so much. You could make actual fried chicken. Like,
yes.
I hate it so much. But the point of a tiny ukulele is also stupid because it's like, what are you going to hear that is like as musical as striking a pin very, very gently so you hear the ting, ting, ting. It's like, there's a reason instruments are the size that they are, because then they can actually play certain sounds. But when you play it that tiny, there's no sound. It's just ting. No one wants just ting.
The one thing I find weird...
That was my pet peeve for today. Yes,
I can agree with you on that pet peeve, because one thing I hate is like people saying, oh, you can just give these hamsters these little things and they can just like eat these little foods. I'm like... It's much funnier and much cuter if you gave this tiny hamster a regular-sized portion of pancakes, because then you've got this little hamster just looking at this size of pancakes and going, yes, all the food I want. You wouldn't see this hamster have this little plate of food. He would just look at it and look at you and go, "What the fuck is this?" And just like, give me real food.
Sirwan, yes, I will let you know. I hated dollhouses as a kid. I never liked them. I always broke them. I would drop them off the second story of my house and see if they survived. I was a troubled child. But things that are needlessly tiny, slightly hypocritical. Is that a joke about my height, little Chibs?
I think it is.
I will have to know that I am perfectly sized for everyone's needs.
Well, I guess we can get Golden Fox in this call to to verify or confirm this.
Shut up, Max.
Anyway, really back on the thing. My favorite song, favorite song would probably be anything by the ukulele musician Dodie Clark, because
oh yeah, I love Dodie. She's cute.
Just by God, she's the person who made me want to restart writing my own music. Because, funnily enough, there was a time when I hated myself for knowing how to make music. Because in between my secondary school and college, so in between like second year of high school and third year of high school, I hated myself for being able to play music because I wrote a song for my music class. I played it in front of my music class because I was really happy with it. It was my first ever song I wrote by myself. All the bullies found out about it, had recorded myself singing the chorus of it, and started shouting it in nearly every single class I was in, like shouting the chorus, which made me hate that song of mine, and I've kind of lost the song chords for it ever since. And
yeah, bullies, can't live with them, can't live without them because they still can't creep up. Not Your Red Shirt. He remembers the song because it was a song that I loved, but now every time I thought of it, I just thought of that. But now, thanks to Dodie Clark Internet Remix and you guys, I've been able to write more songs.
Yay!
Hashtag
purpose.
Hashtag blame ANY. Ooh, I take the blame. I take it.
I think more blame me. He made the song for me first, and then I added him to my Discord, and then I encouraged him to make a theme song for our show.
Stuff escalated from there.
Yeah, so I think it's a blame Keyframe situation for once.
But yeah,
some loser asking what if we would get a tattoo.
I guess we can also probably answer the question. Favorite instrument, genre of music, and whatever lyrical composition is.
I guess song.
I guess song.
Just simply a song. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
His favorite song, actually, I'd go with "New York Girls" by Bellowhead. It's a folky song, and it's a song it's really fun to play and really fun song to sing.
Yeah. So let me. I can actually look up my favorite song because it's not copyrighted.
And it's not by the Beatles?
Well, this is the one that I can actually find on YouTube because all Beatles songs got taken off of YouTube.
Oh no!
But
the dog again.
No, it's not the dog.
Oh, no.
I'm just gonna share my system sound and play it for you guys.
Is it? It's not the one I.
Let's listen.
No.
Not hearing anything.
Okay.
Yeah, just
okay.
I'm playing it. Wait for it. It's coming up.
This doesn't sound like it is from Hamilton.
No, it's not Hamilton. Wait, it's coming. Wait for it.
It's a dog after all.
It's not the dog. It's not the dog.
First I was afraid.
If anyone remembers that Crash Bandicoot last year, Someone got
You are not audible anymore. Your music is louder than you.
Oh, sorry, but no, the Crash Bandicoot.
What?
The whole like wow meme that was from last year. They got the guy who made the meme to do a wow version of "I Will Survive," and I play it to annoy people, so that's why it's my favorite song. But in all legitimacy, if I had to pick a favorite song, it's not that. It's probably stuff from Hamilton. That's not Beatles, but which I do want to plug. The Lin-Manuel has done this thing called Hamil Drop. Every month he releases a new song that's relating to something to Hamilton. And for this month he did he released an old Drat version of Burn, which is Eliza's big song in the second act. And it's essentially like if Burn is her really sad, first Burn is her literally burning Hamilton because she's just savage in the song, and I love it so damn much.
Same here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a line in it where it's like, I know about whispers. I see the way you looked at my sister, being like,
I love that.
Okay, now you are just like, yeah, he's a cheating bastard, and you're gonna yell at him for it. It's great, but
I know about whispers. I see how you look at my sister.
Yeah,
Sorry.
But yeah, so that's also a great song. But I mean, I don't have a favorite song. That's the thing. My favorite song changes depending on my mood. If I'm sad, I'll probably like a sad song. If I'm happy, I'll like a happy song. It's like the only thing that's ever been consistent in my life is my favorite color. I swear that is the only thing that has remained consistent. But favorite musical instrument, probably guitar or trumpet. I love big brass sounding instruments, and trumpet is the most loud and obnoxious one, so it's obviously my favorite. And genre, classic rock. Anything with rock music, I just love that sound, whether it be hard rock or classic rock or folk rock. It's just like, as long as you're rock, I can headbang or rock out to it, then I'm happy. I can't stand. I'm starting to get more into electronic, EDM. Electro swing is probably my second favorite genre.
Yeah.
But there's so much EDM where it's like there's no beat to move to, and I'm like, isn't the whole point of this stuff dance music? Like, I don't get it, But I guess those are my answers.
How can it be dance music if there's no rhythm to dance to? As someone who has done dance since I was like 3, I find this just Okay, can I go on a bit of a rant here?
Sure.
I guess.
Okay, so I love just any form of dance. Like, any time I hear a song and I'm alone at home, I will just dance because I just love to dance or sing or anything. But like a few days ago, I thought, you know what, I'll listen to some electronic music, and this one song came on. I was like, okay, I think I've got like this kind of dance to it, and then it like changed beat, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll dance like this, and then it's like, okay, just choose a rhythm and stick to it, please.
We had that problem during a fur dance that we went to, because the songs would be like either never ending or constantly changing their rhythms, and it sucked. But what about you, Max? What is your instruments and genres of choice?
Instrument, I guess I will probably also go with guitar, maybe electric guitar. You can have some cool riffs with that. Not for me to play, actually more to listen to, because playing wise, can
you play? You can play Wonderwall, so that's a start.
No, I can't. It's past 10. Ring, ding, 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 ding. But yeah, I guess if it comes to what the musical instrument I enjoy the most performing myself, it would probably be singing. But yeah, listening to guitars can be like nice. I'm also probably stuck somewhere between punk rock as the one I used to be very much into, and electro swing is pretty strong nowadays. However, I might already have, I don't know, recently, I love it. I love electro string, but I'm not entirely sure if it really is able to hold the spot as this high-ranking one where I'm like, yeah, electro string. I mean, it's probably also
you don't do devil horns listening to electro swing.
Well, maybe you don't. Nightcore.
No.
Classical.
If you pick Nightcore as your favorite genre, I would have voted to kick you off the podcast forever.
I would have just left.
I mean, I do listen to a lot of Nightcore, but due to the fact because it is not good enough to be like, here's the problem. I have hundreds of hours of music for work as a big playlist, and when I have some brainless longer work to do, I like listening to Nightcore. I cannot, when I have to focus on something, I cannot listen to anything with lyrics because then the lyrics get into the way of me thinking or writing or whatever. But if it's a brainless task, if I play something too good, I will start rocking to it and singing and everything. So it needs to be bad enough, like Nightcore, but have a lot of energy. And I mean, the energy in Nightcore is artificial because it's sped up music, but it works.
You're so strange. I mean, when I work, I tend to listen to. That's when I listen to Broadway soundtracks. The whole way that I got through Hamilton.
However, your work is like creative and visual mostly. My work is with still relates to wording a lot of stuff. I have to write letters or read stuff and research and so on. Like reading a lot.
I'm kind of in between the two of you because when I was doing photography stuff at college and like editing my pictures, I would listen to Broadway soundtracks. I would listen to my favorite like songs that had catchy beats to it. But when I'm like trying to revise, I can't sort of revise philosophy while I'm sort of singing the script song, just sort of going, "It's from Japan. It's a great." I'm like, no, I'm trying to revise Buddhism here. No, and it won't work. So I usually have to listen to something more calming when I'm doing revision.
Yeah, I guess it's also just that I'm a strange person. I can't listen to one singular audio by itself. I have to have something playing in the background. Like 90% of the time, AWKWARDCast aside, if I'm in a call or playing a video game, I have another thing playing in the background. Or a lot of people think it's really weird. When I'm editing videos, I'm usually listening to like a Game Grumps compilation or a podcast in the background. They're like, yeah, but can you hear the video you're editing? And I'm like, yeah, I need to have two things at once. I can't monotask. It's so weird to me. But yeah.
I also have a beautiful single song to share, obviously.
Oh boy, what is it? I don't like this. Hey!
What's this?
Nothing ever beats Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not really.
I should have picked the Ode to Joy that Beaker did. Damn it! But but yeah.
But yeah,
so
other good stuff for real.
oh, okay.
Wait, where's
Is this the?
No, because this is a song You Say Run from My Hero Academia, and apparently it currently gets turned into a meme a la Rio's theme, like playing it over other stuff. And that's why it got on my forefront recently, and I mean it is good energy music, like feel good music.
Personal recommendation to people. Before we move to the last question, if people want a good in between of rock music and Broadway music,
SpongeBob the musical.
At least for the most part, there's always those slow songs. look up the New York City demo to Death Note the musical. You're welcome. No, small backstory. They were going to make a Death Note musical for the U.S., but no one would invest in it. But the Japanese people who made the manga and the anime loved it, so it's still running in Japan in Japanese. But you can find the entire soundtrack demo online, and it has Jeremy Jordan, who people may know as Varian from the Tangled show, as Light, and I cannot not hear Varian. And it's very weird, but it basically, if you've watched Death Note and you know how the soundtrack goes, that very hard rocking sound, put that to a musical, and it's awesome, and I love it.
You say it's on the internet, it's free available, so we can...
It's free available. All you have to look up is NY Demo Death Note, and there's a whole playlist for it.
Actually, my favorite musical song actually comes from the Percy Jackson musical, because I hated the films, loved the books, and Dionysus, the god of wine, gets this kind of swing song called Another Terrible Day, and it works so well, and it is my favorite musical song. It's just, every time I listen to it, I can't help but dance. It's just that good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every musical is better than a trash musical like Cats or something.
Yeah.
I saw the little twitch in ANY's mouth when I said that. I knew that I said the right thing. But, so last question, by some loser named ANY on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, who has a Twitter handle like that?
Yeah. I know, right?
Everybody knows that my Twitter handle is the ANY Pony, so this can't be me.
Yeah, because you totally wouldn't want to alienate the people who got you to where you are in the first place by changing.
I know. That's something I would totally not do.
If you would get a tattoo, what would it be? And I'm just going to add the addendum. Where would you put it?
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Why don't you start, Max?
Here's the fun thing. I considered it multiple times throughout my life, but in hindsight, I'm pretty happy that I didn't, because I grew out of most of the stuff that I would put somewhere. For a time in my teenage years, I kind of identified, I was in the Asian stuff cool phase that many of us went through, I believe. And and I had I had the symbol of red, which is my Chinese zodiac, as a little necklace. But I can't. Well, in place of that necklace that I currently can't wear because it's a two-parter at the moment. I need to glue it back together.
Wait, what happened?
It's a two-parter. Here, one morning I woke up and this was pinned to my chest, like, and I only had this brown. I was wearing it. Sorry for wearing a necklace, and the glue. It's just the glue stopped working. That's all. I need to glue it back together. But yeah, I was wearing a little zodiac necklace, I considered, hey, maybe because Chinese symbols are so cool, maybe getting this. But nowadays, I'm like, oh, thank goodness I haven't done that, because I don't care about this shit anymore. Then other stuff like, yeah, actually. Talking about this symbol, I also was for a while considering, like, hey, maybe putting this somewhere, but still I don't identify enough with it that I want to, as a necklace it's pretty perfect, but I don't really want to have it as a tattoo somewhere. So I honestly don't know. What I would want to put on my skin for hypothetically the rest of my life. Yes, you can remove a tattoo if you really, really want to, but I wouldn't know what. That's the thing. I mean, there are a lot of cool things out there where I'm like, hey, that's an awesome thing. Yeah, put this somewhere. But so far, I haven't come across anything that I identify so strongly with that I'm like, fuck, I want to have this be a part of me forever. Then again, in hindsight, it would probably also be funny if I would have put any idea I had on my body, so that I have kind of a timeline of the stuff that I thought was cool at some point somewhere.
The The way I'm imagining that is just like those gags where the people get their wives' names on their arm and they're constantly crossed out. But with you, it's just different tattoo designs. So you have your weave thing and it's X'd out, and then you have a furry thing and that's X'd out, and then you have your cutie mark, and it's like, I can't have more X's on my body or else people are going to think I'm a bottle of moonshine.
Actually, I remembered this thing I remembered, which was there was this one woman who had a tattoo that started at her breast and so worked her way down her body, down her leg and such. And it was a list of every single man she'd slept with. So every time she had slept with someone, she'd put their name down, and it was like a flower. It was like a plant. So it was like a vine that slowly went down, and each person was like a new flower on it. And I thought, that takes some guts to do.
That's cool. But still, it's like, oh, man.
So stupid.
Just imagine, like, because tattoos do fade. Just imagine, like, this long time where it's like, fine, she goes through, like, a long dry spell of not having anyone to sleep with. And then it's like, finally, I got a new rosebud on here. And half of the tattoo is faded.
Yeah.
But what about you, Rob? If you could get a tattoo, what would you want and where would you put it?
Oof. I've never really been in sort of the wanting to have a tattoo in my life. I've always sort of thought I would never want that sort of experience of having lots of little needles going to my body, because I'm okay with needles, but it's just the repetitiveness of it. I'd be like, no, thank you. But if it was sort of...
If it could be like put there magically without the needle.
In that case, I would go with...
A furry tattoo with a sponge.
I would probably go with runes, and because from where I am in England, I'm close to this town called Glastonbury, which is basically known as the pagan capital city of the world. It's like, if you want something to do with magic or witchcraft or anything, you go there. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about with Celtic runes and Norse runes, and you know those. Hang on, yeah, we've got one here, which is my camera won't focus, but you can kind of see it, I guess.
Yeah.
And is that kind of thing, and I thought if I was going to have any of those, I would want to have a few protection runes. Possibly sort of down my arm or such.
Oh yeah, I also had a phase where I had a necklace of a pentagram, so this might have ended up on my body as well, but please continue.
I think that would have been the most concerning one. It's just like... No,
pentagram is a sign of protection and not of Satanism. Yeah, don't listen to your church propaganda.
That's the seal of Solomon, my friend. I know a little bit about magic.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just imagining Max being like, oh shit, I gotta change this to something. And then he goes to a place where they fix tattoos and it comes out as the Steven Universe star instead. That's actually a very smart way to cover up a pentagram tattoo. But anyway, so you would want wounds on your body?
I would probably just want different sort of runes on my body, like certain protection runes. Also, yes, WishKit. Glastonbury is also the biggest music festival in the world. And it's like really big thing that happens, but Glastonbury, when it's not a music festival, is mainly known for its witchcraft and stuff. So there are certain runes that you can get which like supposed to protect you from ghosts or demons or stuff like that. So I thought, might as well, if it's like someone's got a gun to my head and says, "Oi, you need to have a tattoo," I'd go, I'd rather have those because they're pretty simple and it's like I could have them pretty small.
Fair enough.
And they wouldn't hurt like fuck.
So, Keyframe, besides the obligatory giant version of my face as a troll face, what else would you tattoo on your body?
Sorry, I'm just imagining where I would put that one. I would put it in like the tramp stamp area, so whenever there's a guy and they have to look down, they're like, that's the test. That's the entrance exam. If you can get through that, then you're good. I think I killed Rob. Oh no.
I'm dying.
But no, I've actually seriously thought about, oh no. You okay, everybody?
I'm okay.
But I
I'm good
actually
now.
have seriously thought about tattoos and what I would get, but I'm always constantly overthinking it, so I don't think I would ever actually get one.
Probably
But
the
ones
same
that
reason why I don't have one.
But mine aren't based off fandom stuff or those kind of things. A lot of them have more. If my mentality is, if I'm going to get a tattoo, it has to have some kind of personal attachment to me. And so the few ideas that I've had that have kind of stuck is 2 interconnecting rings that would have my mom and my dad's birth dates on them, and I would get it on my shoulder pad on my back, like right where adjacent to where the heart would be. And then the other one that I've also thought of was this one is the fandom one that I have. I honestly would think that Starlight Glimmer's cutie mark would actually be a very pretty tattoo, and it's a hide your power level thing, because if you don't know the show, it just looks like some kind of magic sign thing, and I would probably get it like right here because it's a vertical aligned design. And then the other design I would get would be a heart that is made out of 3 different blobs of color, and which are they're all my favorite colors, and they're colors that represent the most important people of my life. So it would be blue, gold, and red, and then it would be wrapped around with green, which represents me. And I don't know where I would get that. I would, by theory, I would get it here, but then I'm like, no.
That would hurt.
Maybe on my side. You could be square on my kidney.
They could be above the tramp stamp.
Or you could go with Stealth and the Forces of Evil and have it twice on your face.
No.
That would hurt. That would hurt a lot.
But
I mean,
and then a 4th person that means a lot to you enters your life.
Add another one.
It just gets bigger and bigger until your entire face is just this blood color.
I just become a tie-dye pattern.
Like,
this
help
this is why I don't have important people in my life.
It's practical.
But then, but the other like fandom one, because if I pick something that is based off like stuff I'm a fan of or things like that, I try to do it in a hide your power level that is just in general a good design. The psychic or dark type emblem that you see on the Pokemon trading cards, only because they look cool and those are my favorite types of things. And when I look at mythical stuff or if I'm playing a game, fun fact, if I'm not playing a healer, I'm mostly playing mage classes or magic classes because I find the concept of magic and the supernatural really cool. I mean, my series idea, one of the main characters is a ghost. I like creepy things. I like the macabre. I like weird things. So having like a psychic eye or a dark flame or something would actually fit. But part of me wouldn't get that because I don't need people to think that I'm emo or about to go get a navel piercing or should call a hotline for me. But probably the intersecting rings or the heart would feasibly be the ones that I get. I did have one idea, and then Lauren told me that was a terrible idea. And it was, the tramp stamp area where the ANY troll face would be. I wanted to get the Abbey Road thing put on it, so like the road stripes on the ground. But this was the reason that she said it was bad, because I made a very, very terrible joke. There's a song on the White Album, and I think Rob will get this. And I said, yeah, so if a guy has sex with me and they come on my back, I could say why we did it on the road.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, well.
Well.
Keyframe, guess how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Aroused?
No.
No.
Rob, how do you feel?
Well, I feel very, very awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The meme is seen on this live stream and talk about random crap. It's time for AWKWARDcast. Random guests and funny gags is the AWKWARDcast. Artists and analysis. You do not want to miss the awkward.